Hi, my name is Tabitha Rice. I am the librarian at the Bloomfield Middle School, and today I'm going to read to you a selection from Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. His specialty is fantasy with a little bit of a almost like horror twist to it. His stories always have this little bit of a creepiness to them, and it's not overt, it's not in your face, but it's this subtle little bit of scary that he imparts to his stories. And the cool thing is he writes them in a way that you as the reader kind of take on the story, and you're always wondering a little bit afterwards. Your brain wonders, like, what happened? What's the rest of the story? And you start to kind of take the story on as your own. Today I'm going to read to you a story about a Jack-in-the-Box. This is my daughter's. It's not a Jack-in-the-Box, it's a polka puppy, but same concept. One of these things that you wind and it pops up, and it's supposed to be a really cute thing for little kids. And this story gives it a whole another dimension and edge. So this is Don't Ask Jack. It's a short story in Neil Gaiman's M is for Magic. Don't Ask Jack. Nobody knew where the toy had come from, which great-grandparent or distant aunt had owned it before it was given to the nursery. It was a box carved and painted in gold and red. It was undoubtedly attractive and, or so the grown-ups maintained, quite valuable. Perhaps even an antique. The latch unfortunately was rusted shut and the key had been lost, so the Jack could not be released from his box. Still, it was a remarkable box, heavy and carved and gilt. The children did not play with it. It sat at the bottom of the huge old wooden toy box, which was the same size and age as a pirate's treasure chest, or so the children thought. The Jack-in-the-Box was buried beneath the dolls and trains, clowns and paper stars, and old conjuring tricks and crippled marionettes with their strings irrevocably tangled with dressing-up clothes. Here, the tatters of a long-ago wedding dress. There, a black silk hat crusted with age and time, and costume jewelry, broken hoops and tops and hobby horses. Under them all was Jack's box. The children did not play with it. They whispered among themselves, alone in the attic nursery, on gray days when the wind howled about the house and rain rattled the slates and pattered down the eaves. They told each other stories about Jack, although they had never seen him. One claimed that Jack was an evil wizard, placed in the box as a punishment for crimes too awful to describe. Another, I'm certain it must have been one of the girls, maintained that Jack's box was Pandora's box, and he had been placed in the box as a guardian to prevent the bad things inside of it from coming out once more. They would not even touch the box if they could help it. Although when, as happened from time to time, an adult would comment on the absence of that sweet old Jack-in-the-Box and retrieve it from the chest and place it in a position of honor on the mantelpiece, then the children would pluck up their courage and later hide it away once more in the darkness. The children did not play with the Jack-in-the-Box, and when they grew up and left the great house, the attic nursery was closed up and almost forgotten. Almost, but not entirely. For each of the children, separately, remembered walking alone in the moon's blue light, on his or her own bare feet up to the nursery. It was almost like sleepwalking, feet soundless on the wooded stairs, on the threadbare nursery carpet. Remembered opening the treasure chest, pawing through the dolls and the clothes, and pulling out the box. And then the children would touch the catch, and the lid would open, slow as a sunset. And the music would begin to play, and Jack came out. Not with a pop and a bounce. He was no spring-heeled Jack, but deliberately, intently, he would rise from the box and motion to the children to come closer and smile. And there in the moonlight, he told them each things they could never quite remember, things they were never able entirely to forget. The oldest boy died in the Great War. The youngest, after their parents died, inherited the house, although it was taken from him when he was found in the cellar one night with clothes and paraffin and matches, trying to burn the great house to the ground. They took him to the madhouse, and perhaps he's still there. The other children, who had once been girls and now were women, declined, each and every one, to return to the house in which they had grown up, and the windows of the house were boarded up, and the doors were all locked with huge iron keys, and the sisters visited as often as they visited their eldest brother's grave, or the sad thing that had once been their younger brother, which is to say, never. Years have passed, and the girls are old women, and owls and bats have made their homes in the old attic nursery. Rats built their nest among the forgotten toys. The creatures graze uncuriously at the faded prints on the wall and stain the remnants of the carpet with their droppings. And deep within the box, Jack waits and smiles. Holding his secrets, he is waiting for the children. He can wait forever. I hope you enjoyed that. Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. He is truly worth reading over and over again. I hope that gave you a little bit of a chill on this snowy day.